And in the controller, we'll just open the category controller. Here, let me run the application so I can show you the change tracker. So while the application loads, let me go back here and I will add a few debugging points. I added it in index, upsert as well. Yep, this looks good. We have the upsert, let me add it in the add as well as the update. And we have in the delete. Great. Once you do all of that, let's switch back, go to category. We are in the index. Right now we have the to list. That means the execution will take place right away. We will go to debug, window. This time we'll open a watch window. And the way you can track entities is using the context.changeTracker.entities. So if we refresh this here, it evaluates to 0. If this is not present in your watch window, you can just type this and press enter. Right now it's not tracking any entity. Now let me pin this here. Whoops, where did it go? Let me pin that here. And if we press F10, it will start tracking the list that it retrieves. Let's refresh this and we'll expand this in the result view. You can see it is tracking all of the categories that it retrieved based on the ID, and all of them have the state unchanged. If you expand this, you have more details, but we do not need them right now. So we see that if something is retrieved and it's not updated, it will be in the unchanged state. Let's continue here. Now let's go back and let me try to create a new category. We are back here in the upsert. Let's refresh right here. Let's refresh the top one. And in the result view, we have count 0 right now. We'll press F10. Nothing will be changed here and will be returned back to the view because we do not retrieve anything from EF core. So that's fine. Let's go here and let's try to create a new category. Let me call this temp and hit the create button. Right now it has not added anything, so let's refresh and examine this. It is right now 0. Let's press F10 one more time here, and if we refresh this, now you see it has one count here, and right here you can see the new ID. It is not the actual ID right now because we have not saved the changes, but you can see the state is added. So we can see that if there is an entity that has not been yet added to the database, but we want to add that with the .add method, then the state will be added. Let's hit F10 and we'll do that one more time. Now the entity is saved in the database. If we refresh here, you can see that category has now an ID of 19 and the state is now unchanged because it has been saved to the database and there is nothing more to change. You can see how smart EF core is with all the computation for the current state. So right now we have seen the added state as well as the unchanged state. Next what we want to see is the updated or modified. So let's continue, and this time let me try to modify any of the entity and we'll hit continue here. Let's try to change this name to test1, hit the update. Right here, let me make some space and we have the update. Let's refresh here. Right now the count is 0, but as soon as you hit F10, it will start tracking that entity that we added and the state of that entity is modified now. So once you save it to the database, it will make those changes and then it will change the state to unchanged because it has already saved the changes to the database. Next thing that we want to see is when we delete the entity. So let's hit continue and let's try to delete one of the entity. We are on the save changes, so we have already executed this remove line, because of which the state has been changed for this ID to deleted. Once you remove that, it won't be tracking any entity anymore because it has been removed. So with this, you can see how smart EF Core is, and if you want to track all of the entities and what's actually going on, you can always use that using the db.changetracker.entries.